In this lesson, we're going to continue working with objects, but we're going to do something called transforms. Transforms basically just means moving or manipulating an object. That's going to be a key thing in Maya, to generally be creating little component objects and manipulating and moving them around. So this is the most basic level. The last lesson we went over just a little bit about primitive objects, or the basic objects that come within Maya, which are right up here, which we're going to be using in this lesson. Also too, as well, these objects also exist up here up in the create menu. There's a create pull down menu, and then polygon primitives. Oops. So they exist all here. Okay, we won't get too much into this right now, and I haven't gone over too much about menus yet. So basically we can just use the most simple shelves at this very moment. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to a sphere. I just create a sphere, and in the previous lesson I showed everybody how to do Windows controls, so object camera controls. So what I'm going to do right now is Alt or Option key and right mouse button, and we're going to be dialing in an object. Okay, I want to have a little bit of distance here, and remember there's tumbling, so which is Alt or your Option key and your left mouse button can move you around here. Okay, sometimes I'll be a little redundant with calling out these controls, but as students, as they first start, it's good just to keep hearing these terms over and over again. All right, so here's the situation. I have this object here. I've selected it. Remember, with the left mouse button, you can select an object. To deselect it, you click off in space. Okay, so now say I have this sphere here, but now I'm going to make a cube. I don't see my cube. I wonder why that is. Basically, in Maya, everything comes in right at the center point when you create an object. It always imports in and tries to go to the center. So what's happened now is I'm going to dolly in. Oops. Here we go. So it just looks like, the sphere that's sitting here. And if you remember, we did wireframe control before. And it looks like if we zoom in now, here's where wireframe will come in handy. If you notice, there it looks like there's a cube in there. There it is. Okay. All right, so what's happened is the cube is sitting inside the sphere. All right, so when I go back to shaded mode, I don't see it. So basically what I want to do is I want to move the sphere. Okay, so this is where we go over to the toolbar. So toolbar is over here, and these different little elements here. This is select. We're not going to deal with these two right now. We're going to deal with just this button here, which is the move tool, which it's a window has popped up. And then here's the, oops, mouse is a little sticky here. That's the rotate tool. And there's the scale tool, okay? Move, rotate, scale. All right, so I'm just going to deal with the move tool right now. So you just click on this button here. We click on the object. Oops, there we go. All right, so now you pick this little widget. It's called a widget, and we move it. Okay, so now, as you see, now I've moved this object here. So the same thing, I can pick this object and the widget shows up. Now, the widget also may come in different sizes as well. So you might want to change the size of that. So you can do that with the plus or minus key. Some people like to have it big, especially when you start, you might want to do that. So that's just your plus or minus key. And again, you can just move it around. Okay, so I'm going to move that back. So move that out of the way there. All right, because then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to create another object. I'm going to create our little cylinder object. There we go. Okay, so now, and also too, I had that button picked, so it comes in immediately with the move command already ready to go. Okay, so move that over. Then I'm going to do the same with the cone here. Okay, so I'm just going to deal with these for the moment right now. So there we go. There's 4 objects in here. And dolly out a little bit so you can see them. All right. So we can also do other things besides moving them. Like maybe I want to move the cone. So maybe I want to move the cone here. Okay. But I can also now go to rotate. So say I want to rotate this. Okay. So now you get this big wheel around it. And the wheel is interesting because well, these are all the different axes you can rotate around. Okay. So you pick up by its handle. Here we go. So I rotate it around. Okay. Also, we haven't gotten into it yet, but over here, which we will be getting into, is the channel box. If you noticed over here, it's giving us numbers in here. So it's telling us where I translated the object. Translating means move. So you can actually control things in here. So say I want to make a very even number. So I want to make it 5. Okay. And let me pick it again. Say I want the rotation very specific. Say I want it 45. Okay. And I have that rotated exactly at a 45-degree angle. And we'll get into a lot of this later. I'm not going to do much with this right now. But let's go around. Let's do that to all of them right now. So I'm going to, that has translate Z, which is this direction here. So I'm going to make sure they're all at 5. Okay. This lets you actually put things in very specific places. And let me switch this to just a select here. So yeah, also too, so say you're selecting things, you can pick the object and you can get to the channel editor with anything, but you might want to just have the pick command over here, which is the select tool here at the top. Okay, so that's by eyeball. Look, I already had that at negative, almost -5. So there we go. And I'm going to do the last one. I'm going to do the sphere. And I'm going to give that a -5. Don't get too worried about this stuff. I'm just kind of each step, I kind of reinforce a little thing for all you students. Okay. So there, that's rotated around. Say I want to even out their sizes. Some of them, like this, the cube seems a little small. So now I'm going to go over and I'm going to go to this tool here, which is the scale tool. And you see all the handles here. These allow you to control. For this one, I want to just scale it from the center. So otherwise it'll scale in different directions. So, okay. So you pick the center block there, it'll scale it up. Okay. So there you go. That's the basic transform tools. So you have your select at the top. You have your move tool, you have your select tool here, you have your move tool here, you have your rotate tool here, and you have your scale tool here. Okay, these are the key ones we're going to be using in the beginning part of Maya. I'm not going to be doing much with the other selection sets. Okay, so that's the basics for transforms. So now we've learned basically how to control models, our views of the models. We've learned how to make very basic objects, and we've learned the basics of transforming objects, or moving or scaling and rotating. Okay.